Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited today because I'm going to walk you through a couple of tips that I think are very important to anybody that wants to create a game, anybody that wants to create an application. And I want to start with one that is really important, and that is that you need to be consistent. And the reason why I tell people to be consistent is because if you're not consistent, it's going to be really hard to get that into your habits. It's going to be hard for you to, wake up early tomorrow morning or go to bed late. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be able to do it just for so long. Then if you stop, it's going to be really hard to get back into that routine. So think about exercising, think about, people having a diet. And it's so easy that people think it's, you can do it for a little bit and then starting over, it's really, really complicated. So I want to make sure that you follow that tip, be as consistent as you can. And whenever you're trying to do that, if you want to build a habit, I don't want you to, start and say that you're going to be working, 8 hours extra in additional to the work that you're already doing. I want you to start small. So make sure that you start small, 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes every other day, and then start adding more time. So make sure that you're consistent, and because that's going to really help you throughout your journey. So the next thing that I think is really important is you have to be able to give up some of the perfectionism. So if you're a perfectionist, it's okay, and that's great. And trust me, I'm a perfectionist as well. I try to do everything as good as I can, but I've been learning that that really doesn't work in this world, especially when you have companies and startups trying to do agile, when they're pushing things to the market that are pretty fast. And it's gonna be really hard if you're that type of person that is gonna wanna do everything just perfect. And I'm not saying give up quality, because quality is very important. But what I'm saying is make sure that whatever you're doing, try to push it to the market in a way that they can tell you about your product. So if you're building a game, it's gonna be the same way. Try to do a prototype and get it out there, have people play it, see how they react, and see what kind of mechanics make sense. You might, you will gather a lot of information by doing that. If you imagine that you're waiting, for your game a couple of years, and you wait 2 years that you get into the market and people don't like it and people don't even play it. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do, but when you do that, make sure that you have a lot of data, make sure that you really know that your idea is very concrete, that it's gonna be, that it's gonna do well. So try to be, have a balance when it comes to perfectionism. So the next one that I also tell people to do is, in addition to, building habits and being a perfectionist, is you're gonna be, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and you gotta be okay with making mistakes. Mistakes are things that, I do every other day. I'm working on an app and I make a lot of mistakes, and mistakes in the beginning where, they kind of bring you down, because if you're working on a game and all of a sudden the game is buggy, you're gonna get down because you don't really want to you really are not moving fast enough. But it's okay if you're making mistakes. One thing that that happened to me a couple of months ago, and it happens often, is, every time I find a bug, I get bogged down because, oh wow, why am I so bogged down about this bug where, another day I just woke up and I was able to fix it. And the problem with that is, if you're working on something for so long and you find a bug, you're gonna think that bug is gonna be difficult. And what I find myself doing is, if I go out, I go exercise, I walk around, and I come back to it, I actually fix it right away. So it's okay to make mistakes. If you have a bug or two, make sure that you take a break, then you come back, and then you fix it after that. So that's basically number 4. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't really try to be a perfectionist in everything that you are doing, because it's really not gonna help you long term. And this one is very important as well. You have to become a project manager. The reason why you have to become a project manager, because imagine all the things that you have to do as a game developer, as an app developer. There's a lot of things that you need to track. There's a lot of things that you have to set, milestones for. So becoming a project manager, it's a great thing. It's going to help you in finishing that project. It's going to help you on staying on task. So make sure that you also wear that hat, because it's going to help you finish your game long term. And the last one that I really feel like is very important is you have to set goals. You have to write down your goals. The reason why that one is important, and I took that one for granted for a long time, and now it's one of the most important ones, because that's what actually is going to guide you So imagine that you're working on a project, you really don't have a vision, you're working on it every other day, and you're just basically opening the game engine, opening a tool to work on your project, and then you really don't have a guidance. So if you have a goal and you write it down, you really know where you're gonna go, you know where your project is gonna go, you know where your studio is gonna go. So even though sometimes and most times those goals are gonna change, so that's what I recommend people to, try to write those goals down, review those goals every couple of weeks, every week if you like. And that's going to help you into pivoting into maybe your goals started like this and all of a sudden you want to move a little bit and try something different. So that is okay, because you're going to be learning every day, and you might realize that, for whatever reason you're started in a platform and now you want to try this other platform, but it's still aligned with your vision of creating a game. So make sure that you do that. And those are the 5 tips that I wanted to basically provide to you today. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you guys.